To distill 40 years of musical history down into a single, seamless 5-minute sprint is a massive undertaking. You are dealing with an artist whose catalog stretches from innocent Motown soul right through to the hard-edged arena pop of the 80s and 90s. DJ Simple Simon tackles this directly in his Supremacy Sounds Michael Jackson Megamix. It's a relentless, unbroken sprint through the King of Pop's greatest hits. Blending drastically different eras and production styles back to back presents a major problem. If you jump straight from a bright disco track into a heavy rock anthem, the tempo clashes and you give your listeners musical whiplash. The solution is to throw out the chronological timeline entirely. To make the mashup work, the DJ has to architect a specific thematic journey, grouping songs by mood and energy rather than the year they were released. This waveform maps the structure of the mix. In the opening segment, the DJ immediately plunges the listener into a high-stakes environment characterized by tension and paranoia. He drops Billie Jean right at the start. The driving bass line sets a strict tempo, while the lyrics immediately introduce a narrative of false accusations, paternity disputes, and intense public scrutiny. Instead of letting that anxiety resolve, the mix pivots straight into thriller. The unease of being watched becomes the literal cinematic horror of a creature creeping up behind you in the dark. Then the stakes hit their peak. The tempo remains locked, but the mix slams into smooth criminal, trading supernatural threats for the fast-paced reality of a violent break-in. By stacking the sparse, cold bass line of Billie Jean against the synth stabs of Thriller and the staccato vocal aggression of Smooth Criminal, the DJ creates a psychological bottleneck. The mix holds the listener in a minor key pressure cooker, withholding the relief of a major key resolution to keep the room's attention locked. That release happens instantly in the second phase. The heavy, minor key bass lines evaporate, replaced by a sudden rush of bright, upbeat escapism. The lyrics of Off the Wall explicitly instruct the listener to leave their worries behind. Live your life off the wall and just enjoy yourself. It's a direct command to let the music take over. But the DJ doesn't just hold the crowd in disco mode. He slowly escalates the scale of the lyrics, moving from individual people dancing at a club into grand communal anthems. Tracks like Black or White and Heal the World are brought into the fold. The focus expands outward, pulling the listener into themes of global unity, racial equality, and social consciousness. Within a span of 2 minutes, the audience has been guided out of a state of personal fear and into a mindset of collective joy, all while the underlying beat remains completely uninterrupted. After hitting those massive global themes, the mix needs a palate cleanser. The DJ provides this through a sudden, deliberate structural flashback. He uses the longing lyrics of Remember the Time as a literal bridge, fading directly into the simple, foundational rhythm of ABC. Dropping these early Motown tracks forcefully grounds the listener. It strips away the complex adult themes of the later decades and replaces them with the innocent origins of his childhood career. This sequence acts as a pure emotional reward. After the intense paranoia and sweeping global messages, this blast of nostalgia gives the audience a space of familiar comfort. To close out the block, the mix ramps up one final time, slamming into the heavy, defiant rock chords and aggressive energy of Beat It. Right at this peak, the DJ layers in his vocal drop. You're in the mix with DJ Simple Simon, Supremacy Sounds. It acts as a signature at the bottom of a painting, stamping his authorship on the completed emotional arc. This flowchart visualizes the structure. Music curation is architectural. The DJ builds a narrative through sound. Shuffling by strict chronology creates a jarring experience. Prioritizing emotional pacing lets a DJ manipulate energy and keep an audience locked in. Michael Jackson's life's work functions as a complete vocabulary of emotion, fear, joy, and longing that can be infinitely rearranged into new structures. When you step onto the dance floor, you might feel the tempo first, but the momentum keeping you there is driven just as much by the invisible narrative arc.